Hello and welcome back to another video for Final Fantasy XIV with our 5.5 coverage. And as you can see, here I am in Costa del Sol. There's no particular reason for me being in Costa del Sol other than it was a nice place to record that isn't filled full of spoilers. So whilst we've still got some daylight, let me introduce you to the latest addition to our Minion collection, this little fella. Now this is none other than the Magitek Predator F1 Minion. This is obtainable from the new Pagal dungeon, which is trust-enabled, part of the storyline in 5.5, which we won't go into detail into, but yes, it's basically based on one of the Magitek units that you see throughout the storyline, and of course, that the Garlean Empire has employed. For the longest time, we even have a mount version of this, albeit not green. It says, this miniaturized model of an Imperial war machina was found among the forces of the Telophori, laying siege to Pagalfan. By all appearances, a toy of Garlean make, it is unclear how it managed to make its way to the southern reaches of Eorzea, with the hidden text saying, "Smash and burn their little toy, we will," says the Ixali chieftain. Now, in particular, then, this does drop from Pagalfan, and whilst I haven't done the dungeon yet, my girlfriend Fran took it upon herself to say, I'm going to get that minion the first time that I go inside there with Truss, and then I'm going to give you that minion so you can do a video on it. I scoffed slightly, but you know what? She actually got it on her first time. So if you ever want any RNG, I know exactly who to rub for good luck, basically. So I don't know how she managed to do that, but there we go. Pure luck. Pure unadulterated luck. That's all I can say about that. So this is the minion, and we'll resummon it, and because it's probably gone from through its idle animation, we'll go into G pose, and we'll zoom in to the actual minion. Let's get rid of Meoni here. Nobody wants to see Meoni. Get out of here. There we go. And we'll turn off depth of field because it's a bit nasty. Also put some lights on, shall we? Shall we put some lights on? This is a little bit on the dark side. It is starting to become towards the end of the day in Eorzea right now. And this is what the minion looks like then, which is kind of cute, isn't it? Got this little robot guy, Garlean sort of dude, very weirdly modelled, if I'm completely honest, with a tiny little steering device there, his little helmet. He looks very sad, doesn't he? He looks very sad. It does actually look like something that was like carved out of rock or something, or a bit of metal. So I guess that's the aesthetic they're going for. And obviously miniaturizing something like this is quite difficult to get the texture to look good. And it looks pretty good textures. They're not that pixelated, in all honesty. It doesn't look too bad. Of course, you have the glowy light here. If we actually turn off the lights fully, a little bit there in the darkness, that front light on the front of the minion glows wildly there. But yeah, it looks pretty good, doesn't it? So let's see what happens then with some pokes and prods. I believe we can do that. Is this going to be a Mammotier related one? Yes, it is. So it's independent. So we need to change our title to Mammotier, or the pet collection titles will work if I remember correctly. But we're going to swap to Mammotier, which allows us to interact with the minions and force them to actually change to it. So we can do a handover to make the little poor soldier eat from our hand. We can do a pet emote and it does nothing. And a poke emote, oh, gets him to strike out wildly there. That's cool. That's kind of cool as he walks away from me out of range. There's Fran in the background with the bigger brother version of it, completely unscripted. I love it. I love it. That's a good representation, actually. But yeah, this is basically what the minion will do when he's poked. You put him in the corner, he will lash out with his claws there, looking pretty cool. Ah, nice little minion, isn't it? Actually, Fran, if you want to come a bit closer, we can do a side-by-side comparison, if you want to just come a little bit. So the mount version then is what you get from the Alamigo dungeon, or one of the old itinerant Moogle events a long time ago. Let me see if I can put this next to it. There we go. And then we'll go into G-pose, and then we'll hide my character. There we go. So we've got the whole "don't talk to me or my son ever again" sort of situation going on. Yeah, the textures are fairly similar actually, aren't they? I didn't realise it was as green as it is. Huh. I thought they'd actually just change the colour, but both of them glow. There you go. There's mummy and daddy, basically. It is a fantastic little minion. And at the moment it's going for about 20 million gil on my server, Ragnarok. That's bound to drop significantly throughout the day and indeed through the week as more people get access to that particular dungeon. It is a nice one to add to our collection, and thank you so much once again to Fran for being probably the luckiest person on the planet for that one. But there we go. So if you're interested in collecting your minions, if there's any minion collectors like myself out there, that's what this one looks like. That's what it does when you poke it. And I'll see you all next time. Much love. Enjoy the rest of 5.5.